Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who video for today. So for this video, I'm going to be showing you everything I own of Season 5 and Season 6, starring my third favourite Doctor, Mr. Patrick Troughton. And this is going to be the last time I'm going to be doing like a double pack video for these two seasons, because then from next week I'm going to go back to doing singular seasons, episodes of each season I own through different types of media. So let's dive into it. So season 5. Now season 5, we have some new iconic villains like the Ice Warriors, the Great Intelligence, the Robot Yetis, Killer Seaweed and Salamander. And then we have the return of the Cybermen for 2 stories this season. Now unfortunately, one story is actually fully on missing, which hasn't been released on DVD, but when you go to BritBox, the Telesnap Reconstructions is on BritBox with the surviving episodes. So with episodes 3 and 6, so that was the first time I actually managed to experience the web of the Wheel in Space properly, thanks to BritBox. So everything I own of season 5. So let's dive into it. So for Target book, I own Doctor Who and the Abominable Snowmen. And then I own the next story, which is of course the Enemy of the World, after the Ice Warriors. And this was actually written by Ian Marter, who played Harry Sullivan in the Tom Baker era. And then of course I have the final book in my collection for season 5, The Web of Fear. I love Web of Fear, and it is written by Uncle Terence. I love Terence Dicks. He's one of my favourite Doctor Who writers for the Target book range and for the whole series in general. So I love that one. VHS, I own only one VHS from this season because season 5 was absolutely missing for years, and I believe no other stories for season 5 was actually released on VHS apart from this one, which is the Tomb of the Cybermen. Yes, I actually own Tomb of the Cybermen because this story was actually found and returned to the BBC in 1991, and then a year later it came out in VHS, which is absolutely brilliant when you think about it. And I love Tomb of the Cybermen. It's just a cracking story. DVD, oh dear, DVD wise, I own quite a bit of this season on DVD. Quite a bit of stuff from this season on DVD. So what I own on DVD for this season, I own quite a bit of it. So let's dive into it. So the first DVD I own for season 5 is the original DVD release of The Tomb of the Cybermen, and this came out in 2002. And I absolutely do like that artwork. It makes the Cybermen look spooky, doesn't it? I love that artwork there. Then the next DVD I own is the special edition of Tomb of the Cybermen. I love that artwork a bit more than the original, because look how it looks with Troughton in the middle. You've got 2 Cybermen, Cybermats, and 1 Cyberman above him. I absolutely love Tomb of the Cybermen. It's just a good story. And I'm going to get to the point where I say what's my favourite story from this season. The next DVD I own for season 5 is the Abominable Snowmen. It came out last year. It's an absolutely brilliant story, I have to admit. If you haven't got this yet, go and buy it from HMV or Amazon, because you do not know what you're missing from the Abominable Snowmen. And then of course the third story from the season was actually the Ice Warriors, the very first appearance of the Ancient Martians. And it's a brilliant story. It's got some like boring knickknacks in there, but it's still pretty much enjoyable, and I love the way how the TARDIS lands on its side and the doors kind of open outwards. So yeah, that's another good one. The next one is the Enemy of the World. This is the original release of Enemy of the World. So yeah, I've got that one. And then of course I own the special edition of Enemy of the World. I love Enemy of the World. It's why I got the special edition. So I wasn't really going to bother with the special editions at one point, but then I thought, you know what, just sod it, grow the collection. And then of course we have the Web of Fear, another good story. I love Web of Fear. And then the Web of Fear special edition with the animation episode for episode 3, because episode 3 is still missing. But it was actually animated to get this out on DVD and of course on Blu-ray, which you will see in a bit. And then of course we have the third and the last basically story for the moment, until the BBC gets around to releasing either the Telesnap reconstructions from BritBox onto DVD or animating it for the Wheel in Space. So the last DVD I own for season 5 is actually Fury from the Deep. Not a brilliant animation, but it's actually got, I really love the soundtrack to it, I have to admit. I do love the music, and I love the way how it looks creepy with Killer Seaweed. And then lastly, for season 5, I own quite a few steelbooks on Blu-ray. So I own the Blu-ray steelbook to the Abominable Snowman, and then of course the Web of Fear steelbook and Fury from the Deep steelbook. And that is everything I own for season 5. So what is my favourite story from season 5? Well, I'm going to say this one hand on heart. My favourite story from this season has got to be the Web of Fear. I absolutely love the Web of Fear. It's absolutely brilliant, and I actually own 3 copies of this one, with the original release, the DVD release, and of course the Blu-ray release. I absolutely love this season. Absolutely brilliant, and I love this story. It's my favourite story from season 5. Diving into the next story now I own for the next season is season 6. So what do I own for season 6? So let's dive into it. So season 6 for the Target books. I only own 3 Target books for this season at the moment, but I'm hoping to dive more into it. So the first Target book I got for the season is of course The Invasion. I love that image with Unit and the Cybermen, and that's also written by Ian Marter. And then I own a rare Target book. Now I never knew they actually did hardback covers to the Target books, but nope, here it is. Doctor Who and the Croutons, a hardback copy of the story, and look how good it looks. I mean, it's thick, it has a nice spine to it, and it is the only one I've got in the collection. And I don't know if they did any more like hard copies of Target books, but I've actually got a hard copy Target book of the Croutons, which is not a really bad story when people, I don't get why people pull it down. And then lastly, of course, for the Target box, I actually own Troughton's final story, which is The War Games, and it's written by Malcolm Hulke. Yeah, I own The War Games on Target book, and it's just absolutely brilliant. VHS on Target book, well, VHS for season 6, there is the Mind Robber. I know the Dominator has got a VHS release, so I can't find it at the moment. I've been looking through eBay and Amazon. I'm hoping to come across it one day at Comic-Con or in a second-hand store. So here is the Doctor Who and the Mind Robber, a fantastic 5-part story. Then, of course, the Croutons. Then the Seeds of Death, the second Ice Warrior story in Doctor Who, and it's Pertwee's second to last story, well, third to last story of season 6. And then, of course, the War Games Part 1. I haven't got War Games Part 2 because, believe it or not, out of the War Games Part 2 is more hard to come across on VHS than Part 1, because I have bought a massive bundle late last year, and I had another copy of the War Games Part 1, which I've then gone and got rid of because I don't really need it when I'm after Part 2. DVDs now, I actually own for DVDs. So we have the Dominators, the Mind Robber. I absolutely love that artwork for the Mind Robber. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The Invasion, my favourite story of the season, as everybody knows. I mean, there's no me denying that. The Invasion is my favourite story. Then, of course, we have the Croutons. The original release of the Seeds of Death, with a black and white picture of Troughton on the bottom and side. The special edition release of the Seeds of Death. And then, of course, we have the War Games. Yes, and I actually have a full copy of the War Games on Doctor Who The Regeneration book, limited edition. At the moment, it's inside my glass cabinet, so I'm not really going to go through my glass cabinet and grab it out to show people, I'm afraid, where all this other stuff is normally on shelves and stuff. And, of course, to the new editions, I actually got myself, as you all know, some Doctor Who DVD Filofax. That didn't come with the magazines, but I got a deal on them. And in that, we have 2 DVDs from season 6, which is The Invasion. So we got episodes 1 to 4 here of The Invasion, and then episodes 5 to 8. So yeah, boom, I own The Invasion on DVD. I love The Invasion, and I'm absolutely really loving these. So I might go around and collect the DVD Filofax, I think, and have another DVD collection. And that is everything I own from season 5 and season 6. So thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comments, what is your favourite story from season 5 or season 6? Let me know. Please do like, subscribe, share, and join for more awesome Doctor Who content.